Have you been good in slaughtering all the aliens?
Uh, for the last fight that I had, yeah, but now I've got a different kind of problem.
What
A
kind of
while
problem?
a while back, someone I think it was a bot was spamming challenge requests and
Can,
singled
can you
me
see more?
out. And I could not get rid of this person. No matter how many times I logged out and logged back in, this person had zeroed in on me essentially.
Can you just block them?
I didn't know who the person was. I knew the player, the not the player, but the character name, but I didn't know the player name. And you have to have the
And
player name in order to do that.
can you find out? Same way you would have found out the character name?
But this was months ago. That's not what I'm getting at. Okay. Eventually, eventually the Twitch chat and I figured out how to well, the Twitch chat already knew. They just wanted me to figure it out. Eventually, I figured out how to block incoming requests, and now I'm trying to turn that off, but I don't remember what I did. So now I can't join a Reddit team because it says I'm automatically blocking team requests or team invites. I'm sorry.
I figured this thing would be smart enough to realize specifically, what's it called, the challenge requests, not like team invites.
Wow. Okay, according to the game's logic, PvP and PvE are one and the same in terms of ignore requests.
Now I know that PvP is player versus player. What's PvE?
Player versus event.
I think I found a new meme that we can use.
What did you
A
find?
new meme.
The meme that I found was, I paused porn for this.
Eh, better be good. Something important.
No, it's just something I was watching a video, and then all of a sudden the guy in the comment section said, I paused porn for this. And I'm like, that could be a new meme. That could so be a new meme. Just someone that said that, like, I paused porn for this thing. And you know what? It would not be wrong, just because some people would say, I stopped to watch this. I don't know where I found it exactly, but I found it funny as hell.
Holy shit, we're actually doing this.
I
Do
hear
it.
Reese.
Hey, Ty.
Hey, what game's kicking Reese's ass this time?
Star Trek Online.
I'm
Aw.
attempting to get a Starbase Fleet Defense player versus event going.
Ah,
You remember that one, don't you?
I hear about it. Oh, how badly did Twisted Dreams kick your ass so far?
I finished the first world last night, and I'll probably be touching it again tomorrow, but with gloves, cause ew.
Yeah, it's amazing just how many lives those levels take in Twisted Dreams.
I know. I'm still trying to beat the next to last level and qualify for the last level.
There's so much cheapness in the game.
Wait till you get to the third and final world. Then you'll know what cheap is.
But yeah, Starbase Fleet Defense is it's a 20 person player versus event. Where 4 teams of 5 defend the starbase against a shit ton of enemies.
What, PVE or PvP?
PVE.
Ah.
I have not been able to play this match in close to 2 years. Because nobody's up for 20 person PVEs.
Well, at least here on the East Coast, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Your average person's asleep.
I mean, anytime, because everybody's always doing the quick ones. I mean, people would rather just do the 5-person Federation fleet alerts, which only take about what, a minute, maybe 2. Not very long. Personally, I actually prefer the 20-man PVE because you get more people on and more boom.
More XP as well, I'm guessing.
You know, I've never really looked at the XP bar.
Well, this is a kind of depressing story.
What happened?
I was just about to say how sad it is that we just talked about Nicole Bass and found out she passed away today.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, well, that's... God, this might be the year of wrestlers dying. Anyway, it says here that the Samsung Group chief, J.Y. Lee, was arrested on Thursday over allegations of corruption scandal rocking the highest level of power in South Korea. Note, this guy is actually from the country's richest family.
Wow.
So, in other words, this is going into... If this is like saying the highest power of South Korea, this probably is meaning like directly government related.
That's not good. And
Also, I should say this. This is from a very respectable news company, Reuters.
Who?
You ever heard of Reuters?
Nope.
Does anyone want to tell her how damn important this news group is?
Yeah, they're basically CNN if they were actually legit.
You mean CNN back when they first started?
No, if they were legit.
Basically, everybody gets their news from Reuters. That's worth it to them.
Reuters.
So you're saying CNN was never legit?
Here's what it is. Ready? Here's your reason for arresting him?
Finally got sick of whatever shit he's been doing?
Lee is a suspect in the influence peddling scandal that led Parliament to impeach President Park Geun-hye, how do you say it in Korean, in December, a decision that, if upheld by the Constitutional Court, could make her the country's first democratically elected leader forced from office.
So basically, she poked around where she shouldn't and ended up causing something that apparently didn't need to happen or whatever.
It's simply the fact that the man that's basically the chief of Samsung is partially responsible for something like this. I'm like, ooh, Samsung, you should not be doing this.
High up at Samsung shook the government. Surprise!
I'm sorry, Wheelgirl, you don't understand. Samsung is one of literally Korea's lifeblood right now.
Samsung and video games. That's what Korea's running on officially.
Yeah.
South Korea, you're saying. You can't just say Korea.
I think it would be kind of obvious what country we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, Samsung's chief doing this, I'm like, ooh, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to be involved in politics, especially if we're trying to get her out?
Well, there is also a crazy rumor that going around that some of the government leaders were involved in a cult in South Korea, so this just adds more fuel to a crazy fire.
See that Reuters was right, they don't allow the comments. Still, seeing something like that, I'm like, ugh. Samsung. Especially when it's from the richest family. Influences, people. Influences.
Influences, what's that?
Something we wish we had more of in some parts. Again, some parts.
Wonder what's next gonna happen. Say, what the hell, South Korea, are you doing?
TNA forced to blur referees' faces due to backlash. Time? Is there a reason for censoring a ref?
No, not unless they're ruining the entire match.
Or maybe they just have legal action that was taken after the fact when the tapings happened? Oh wait, what's this?
Very possible.
Let's see what this. The Hardys have cameras following them at different promotions, and the footage from their matches will be airing on different episodes of Impact Wrestling. When they were in Tijuana they're in Tijuana. Oh yeah, that's right. They're in Tijuana during that match. It was a small problem. TNA received a cease and desist from Lucha Underground, and the referee that was working in that match was a contact.
Oh yeah, I talked about that.
Oh, yeah, and they cannot appear on another promoter's TV show.
Probably without even aware of what it was.
makes a lot more sense now, but damn. But again, this is, of course, Matt
Somebody
Hardy.
didn't do their research.
Wheel Girl, when you do wrestling promotions, it's really a complicated thing to happen. When you do independent, when you're an indie guy, if you're like a small time guy or a big time guy in the indies, there's some crazy shit that happens.
This is an inevitable. This is an inevitability that could happen. Is what you're saying.
We even talked about this in one of our news segments, Ty. That remember what they said that during the whole thing of the UK Championship, how like they trying to get UK guys and they couldn't really do much. They told them not really to do many matches.
Yeah, because they had to be, at least during the tournament, they were under WWE contracts.
Yeah, they couldn't really do they couldn't do any promotion except for dark matches. It's kind of that same concept. This week?
Not that great.
Not that good.
Yeah!
Despite having no competition, they didn't do that.
Yeah! I'm like, they had a great segment. It was really good. They had really good segments on there. And yet, it went from 3 to 2.16. What happened?
Last remember how boring last week was?
Oh yeah! It was even worse than it's like that was after Survivor Series.
Yeah, because here's the sad thing: you have the Chris Jericho heel turn, the Kevin Owens Chris Jericho breakup, and you have Bayley winning the title.
I wonder what SmackDown did this week. Let's see, rating for SmackDown was 1.8.
Isn't that pretty much average for SmackDown?
Yeah, but let's see, the show drew in 2.6, and then it was just wow, it was basically the same as last week's. What was Raw's viewership, I wonder?
The entire team I had assembled, consisting of nothing but Reddit fleet members. They loved Starbase Fleet Defense.
Close to 3.1. Well, they're catching up. I hate to say it, but SmackDown's kind of catching up, but only 500,000 viewers between them. That's not that bad, really. When you're basically getting around you're getting basically 500,000 viewers gap between SmackDown and Raw. I'm kind of surprised about that. That's probably a good thing. But it also shows that's where the real hardcore fans are.
You know, during the whole match, I probably should have mentioned that I was in fact talking with two members of a podcast.
Yeah.
We're small time, and plus we're still trying to figure out what we got to do for our podcast even now.
The podcast it's the equivalent of Dracula's castle from Castlevania. It's a constantly morphing beast.
Yeah, especially when we're still trying to find our footing. And I think we may have found it.
Well,
like
I said on the board yesterday, just gonna take all of the wrestling stuff, WWE, and even the TNA and all the other stuff, and just cram it into one segment called "This Week in Wrestling." Therefore, we don't have to go through show by show by show or go, "Oh crap, there's something on TNA that actually happened that was used for." Hey, we haven't talked about Lucha Underground in like 20 years.
Yeah, at least talk about something that was actually enjoyable in those shows. Like, take like 30 minutes to talk about the whole thing, maybe less, depending on how much there is to talk about, and then we discuss our topic. Heck, if we did that, we'd probably cut the show down to an hour.
This Week in Wrestling. Twoo?
Well, for the wrestling stuff, then we can actually go through our normal stuff of going through talk about just about everything else that's wrestling related.
Yeah, because next week we got to get to barely legal.
Yeah, we finally did knock that out the way.
Yeah, barely legal. Can't believe we got to talk about that. And remember, and I'm just remembering. Oh right, this is old ECW.
Yeah, this was the very first ECW pay-per-view.
Yeah, I remember when the crowd kept chanting, "Pay-per-view, pay-per-view, pay-per-view," as Joey Styles came in the ring to introduce the show.
Memory serves, wasn't he annoyed by that?
I don't know.
So how went the 20v20?
Oh my god, it went fast.
Well,
Much faster than I ever expected.
this is something.
Okay,
Well, before you say it, sorry, trying to swallow. Back when Starbase Fleet Defense was a thing, our ships were not that powerful. The highest we could do in terms of ship quality, ship gear quality, was Mark 12. We have since moved up to Mark 14 with gold quality items.
And gold, I'm assuming, is like the Uber level stuff.
It's the most difficult to attain. You have to craft it and keep crafting upgrades for it, and you may or may not get the gold quality upgrade. Yeah. But yeah, it usually took about maybe 10 minutes to do this PVE, and this time around it was probably half that long, because we didn't even have a
They
full
got to your
crew.
equipment.
We're all constantly upgrading our stuff and pimping out our ships. We didn't even have a full team. It goes up to 20. We had at most 17.
And the enemy?
The enemy had to have been about maybe 200, 300 ships. We wiped them all out quickly.
17 v 200.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not 200. Maybe close to 100 ships.
Where's my monocle? This is going to be really, really classy.
Either way, we mopped the floor with them. Needless to say.